Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor. I am an electronic music producer and one of the founders of BeatShaper, which is an AI platform that turns words into editable music. So, 2/3 of aspiring music producers give up within their first year of starting out. Most of them before they ever finish a single track. And this has a very easy, simple explanation for it. Making music is pretty hard. Fun and rewarding, of course, also, but it does require extensive skill and practice. So if you're making music on your home computer, you need to learn how to use sophisticated software tools. You need to know a little bit about the basics of music theory, so how to write beats and melodies that work together to form a song. You need to know the basics of sound design and mixing. And while learning all of these new skills, you also still want to have fun and be creative, find inspiration. So really, it's no wonder why so many people struggle with this and unfortunately give up entirely. So I know for me personally, I needed years to learn the basics of all of these skills. And that's why these are exactly the challenges we are applying AI to simplify in order to make the process of making music simpler and more accessible to everyone. And so if you are a beginner, you're first starting out making music on your computer, then this screen here can be quite intimidating. It's a blank project file in music production software called Ableton Live. And those of you in the audience who have never used this before may be able to relate. It's not so intuitive and obvious how to go from this to a piece of music. And existing AI music generators don't help with this. They simply generate a finished piece of audio, an MP3 file that you can listen to, but not something that you can edit and make into your own piece of music. But with BeatShaper, you simply describe in words the music you'd like to make, and our AI engine takes your inputs and fills that empty project file with your musical vision. So your song broken down into all of its elements, the beats, the melodies, everything in an editable format. And you can use this as a starting point, as inspiration, and you can dive in from there. You can edit some notes, you can swap out an instrument, you can add in some effects. But we get you from a blank screen to a working musical idea in seconds, and you retain full creative control in the entire process. And so all of this is powered by a custom AI engine that we've trained ourselves from the ground up. And very importantly, we have licensed the data that we train with. So this means that artists and rights holders are fairly compensated for contributing their work to training our models. We are a very experienced team of 4 AI and software developers with a strong passion for music. We previously worked together at another startup where we built state-of-the-art AI solutions for some of the largest companies in the world. And now we're turning all of that knowledge and experience to building the AI assistant for music production that we wish we had had when we were starting out as hobby artists. We've been supported by several grants in Austria, where we're based. We've already launched a beta version of our platform that we're currently testing with several hundred monthly active users in preparation for our full product launch planned for early next year. And if selected as today's ArtTech Prize winners, we will use that prize money to continue to build out additional partnerships with artists to directly compensate them for contributing their work to making our models even better. And so we feel that 2/3 of aspiring music producers simply need more help and better tools when they're starting out. And if that resonates with you as well, or if any of you in the audience were also once an aspiring music producer who unfortunately gave up somewhere along the way, then check out our platform at beatshaper.ai. Thank you.
Huva iltapivia. Good afternoon. We're Art Crush, and we're turning the streets of the world into one open-air museum, like here yesterday night in Alu, and since 1 year. Every day, brands spend hundreds of millions of euros on digital billboard campaigns. But in a world flooded with ads, those advertisements often go totally unnoticed. Worse, the billboard industry, there is 38% unsold space. this industry is just wasting 1/3 of its production. And at Art Crush, we have a solution. We bring them fantastic art to turn their billboards into eye-catching displays with the support of leading brands. Like here, the National Lottery that sponsors them. These billboards, and with the art, create real attention. And that's where the billboard industry wins the war of attention that is fundamental in the communication space. And in exchange for we help them, they give us great deals on their premium inventory. And then we can start serving our clients, not the billboards, not the artists, but the global brands in tech, fashion, and luxury. We deliver two types of services. We're a talent agency. We bring them artists to create their story, to create advertisings. So we invoice them campaigns up to 65,000 euro already sold to Big for just one campaign. And since we have great access to premium inventory, we just sell them media at good prices where we still make money, like here in Art Basel, Miami, for the brand Amouage. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional. This is a very important presentation. On top of getting revenues from the brands, we also receive fantastic, unique artwork from the best artists of the world, building up the Art Crush company collection with engagements of already more than 1 million euro from our partner artists, with the goal to grow a company collection that will be worth more than 100 million euro within 5 to 10 years. I'm Mathieu France. I'm the CEO of Art Crush. I've built 3 companies and sold some of them over the 10 years, and I just love billboards. We've assembled a fantastic team, including people that have worked in leading galleries and at Christie's to select the very best artists of the world. And our market is actually the market of content creation for brands, a huge market where we aim to capture a market share of 30 million within the next 5 years. Over the past first 6 months of 2025, we've 10 times our revenues compared to the previous year, with $425,000 value created. Our network has grown 10x also over the last 12 months. We have now every single day art playing in the digital billboards in 13,000 billboards across 15 countries. Today, we're raising 1 million euro, mainly to scale our sales and marketing activities and to grow our exhibition art network to 50 countries and 300,000 billboards over the next 3 years. Because right now, with our 13,000 billboards, we're serving just 3% of the billboards in the world. Can you imagine how big this can get within the next 3 years? But today, I haven't come to raise money just. I've come here to present to this audience, to you. And it would make a huge, huge difference, a world of difference, if you could upvote Art Crush as your favorite startup of the day, because then you can have less advertising in the digital billboards and more art tomorrow and in the future in Oulu and in the street of your city. Thank you very much. I love you. Kiitos paljon. Minä rakastan Oulua.
Hi, my name is Nessa, and before I was a founder, I was a writer. In 2020, I published my first book. I thought writing it was going to be the hardest challenge, but actually sharing it was even harder. My Cypriot publisher did all they could in order to get the book to cross borders, but they were unable to get it into the big books club. So whenever I attended events in Innsbruck, Serbia, London, I had to bring the books in my luggage. The more I talked with other writers and indie publishers, I was just hearing the same story. My case was far from being unique. Great books were not crossing borders. And it was not because people didn't want to read them. It was because they were hard to find. And so this year, Theo and I decided to do something about it. So here's the scale of the problem. Europe publishes over 500,000 new titles a year. But the places where people actually find books surface only a tiny slice of that pie. Usually, these are mainstream English titles or local bestsellers. Only about 3% of books are translated, and most of those aren't actively promoted outside their home country. On the reader side, that means inconsistency. Even when a translation exists, it often doesn't appear in the local app or local store. And on the supply side, in just our 5 launch markets, we count around 2,757 small and mid-sized publishers. Most don't have a straightforward way to get their books to cross borders. So why are we only launching now? Today's multilingual models make this feasible, and we're not starting cold. We have 7 collaborators from Cyprus, Spain, Greece, Belgium, and Ukraine to validate quickly and with real catalogs. So what exactly are we building? Our solution is called ReadEU. ReadEU is a platform that features an AI-driven digital discovery layer and an evidence layer and an evidence engine. So this layer sits before the store. Our platform helps readers find the right book first. Then we link them to where they can actually get the book, whether that's a retailer, a subscription app, or a local store. On the back end, we pull catalogs into one view, clean up the data, and keep editions and translations connected so that the right local edition is only one tap away. So let's get a little bit deeper. How does this work on the reader side? Readers answer a few questions. The rest comes from how they browse. So, because matching is language agnostic, we can suggest a Galician thriller to a reader in Cyprus from day one. If there's a local edition, we show them where to buy it. If not, they save the book and opt to be notified when a translation or a local edition appears. For publishers connect their catalog to our platform, and then we handle the heavy lifting. So we normalize the onyx and the thema, fix messy fields, and link all editions and translations into one work. Their dashboard then shows where interest is building by market and language, saves, previews, read now clicks, notify me's, etc., etc. Thanks, Theo. From there, it suggests which outlets to approach per country, flags gaps like missing ebooks or audio, and exports a contact shortlist plus a translation brief. So here's how we fit alongside the big EU reading apps. So we have Storytel, which I think some of you who are local are pretty familiar with. And so Storytel runs a powerful subscription and a publishing arm, and discovery happens in-app. And then there's BookBeat, which is also very strong in Sweden, Finland, and Germany, but also discovery happens within the catalog already in their app. Nextory, very similar. Legimi, similar story. So ReadEU sits before all of them. We help a reader find the right book across countries and languages. Then we send them to the best place to get it, whether that is Storytel, BookBeat, their local store, their local library, a publisher, and we then turn this and for publishers, we then turn this into actionable visibility by market and language, which single apps don't do. A little bit about our business model. We are pre-seed. So in the first year, we're looking to price our subscription at 200 euros for the year. And this is for the publishers. It's a founding plan. So while we build with our first publishers, lower friction, fast onboarding, and a clear renewal path. From year 2, we move to a 350 euro baseline as the product is fully working and feature ready for core use. From year 3, we introduce tiers, so teams that want deeper insights and workflow tools can step up while the baseline stays affordable. And just a note, for readers, we are keeping a freemium subscription with optional tiers, paid tiers from year 2 and onwards. And the summary. If you are tired of reading Dickens, support ReadEU. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jenni Muuberg. I'm the co-founder of Patents from Agency. Here is the team of Finland-based textile designers that I'm working today with. There's something very wrong in the textile industry today. Probably some of you know that already. We have discovered that the textile designers and the textile manufacturers are unable to meet efficiently and exchange their market knowledge. This is causing plenty of waste in unwanted textiles, as well as the imbalance in power relations between the designers and the textile manufacturers and the brands. There's a problem, there's a solution, and the solution is called Patents from Agency. It's a meeting point for designers and the manufacturers for sustainable, long-lasting pattern designs and home textile collections. Most importantly, it's not just a visibility tool, but it's really a platform the technology and innovative business model bring sustainable income for the artists. We are developing currently a digital pattern library and a community for selling the designs online. Meanwhile, our designers work as outsourced design teams for customers around the world. The business model is based on licensing of the design data. Digital pattern libraries and sales channels are still an exception in the market because the market is very fragmented. However, companies that have such channels, so they provide or they show fast growth of turnover. Also, we have a good knowledge, in-house knowledge on the entire textile value chain within our company. Here is a visualization of our current reach. We have an accumulated turnover of approximately 1 million euros already. The company has been established in 2019, but we have had activities even before that. We are active in the main markets their textile is manufactured at the moment. We are 2 middle-aged female founders, friends from scouting camps, and we have background in design, business, pedagogy, and textile engineering, and about 100 years of life experience. Home textile industry is really huge. You can think of your own homes, what kind of curtains you have, what kind of wallpapers you have, what kind of pillows, throws, whatever you name it. We are basically able to design them. And so is the market for the outsourced design services. Both of these are estimated to grow heavily on the upcoming years, and the outsourced home textile design services is valued to roughly 5 billion euros this year. We have made an analysis of the competitive landscape and try to understand where is our position and what our strengths are. In the world of AI, designers are actually needed more than ever. And patents from agency is needed also because the patent design industry in general has not faced any kind of inflation, at least during the past 20 years. So that's something to think about in the times of AI as well. Our moderate calculations show a turnover of about 200,000 euros for next year and about 2.2 million euros for 5 years thereafter. The business model is heavily scalable. We can add more designers into the team during the upcoming years. It all depends on how we get financed. We are ready for the joyride. Are you? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm an artist and founder working on Emergentic AI, a new platform for helping artists and creatives to fully utilize the capacity for generative and agentic AI to tell stories. We've seen a disruption to the normal modes of both distribution and production in legacy media. You used to get your content on television. These days, you get it online on social media, on TikTok. With generative AI, however, it's easier than ever to create Hollywood-style visuals in a matter of minutes. Media that used to require hundreds of millions of dollars from the inception of an idea or the moment a script landed on your desk can now be executed or tested with audiences in a fraction of the time. However, when it comes to storytelling and building worlds, characters, and simulating their interactions, we're still just left with a generic chatbot. What if you could sculpt chatbots into characters, build them into entire worlds populated by multiple agents, and then let the story emerge? That's why we built Emergentic AI. It's a world-building studio powered by agents with custom integrations, including Unreal Engine. Emergentic is meant to be your one-stop shop for augmenting your creative workflows with emergent storytelling. For instance, if you're working on a script or an idea, add a screenwriter. Even add all the characters from that story. Then fill in your plot holes. Even add a marketing agent that could help you with vertical content. Even add a producer to make sure you stay on budget. And then, with our Unreal Engine plugins, even let the story come alive inside of a game engine. And our team has already proven itself. We've already brought a white-labeled use case to production and secured a commission with a major museum in Los Angeles. We've also had extensive experience integrating AI and machine learning into various artists and enterprise use cases over the last 15 years. What have we built with it so far? Check out our YouTube. You'll see that there are 2 works in particular. One, The Game of Whispers, is a historical reenactment of the Mughal Empire, where 20 non-player characters come alive with Emergentic to retell the story of Shah Jahan. On the right, you would see myself as a metahuman, and this is a story in conflict resolution where I built myself as a metahuman and invited my former romantic partners to play out our past conflicts in an endless simulation. So there's so many interesting use cases for Emergentic as we spent more time with it, obviously within personalized gamings and making non-player characters come alive. But besides that, also in ideation and thinking through scripts and plot holes. getting to the point of previs sooner, previsualization. When you're building a story for production, a lot of the money is starting to go into previs. Also building entire teams of agents that are really customized to your workflows so that you can work faster. We've also seen this change the ways in which we work and communicate, and helping us learn to empathize with one another. Consider an HR team being able to simulate a hard conversation before it ever happens, and extending these ideas to the global scale to simulate global conflict and disarmament. So ArtTech is already far ahead of anything out there. On our YouTube channel, you can see some tech demos. This one in particular, I'll call out, where there are 3 agents inside of Unreal Engine. They're watching a film in real time and live scoring it using our custom generative music software. And our AI-powered orchestration software as well has just been accepted for publication at the premier AI conference, NeurIPS, happening in 2 weeks in San Diego. So what's the market opportunity? Well, consider the spend on AI within media and entertainment is almost 26 billion right now, and that's projected to grow to almost 100 bill by 2030. If we narrow this to just one of our 4 use cases within AI-powered gaming, we're talking about a $2.8 billion addressable market. Narrowing that just to mid-tier size studios, we're talking about 420 mil. And of the ones that we've already started talking with, 85 game studios within AI, we're talking about a projection of about 100 mil per year. And we're at the forefront of it, a $2.8 billion industry. But we do see this growing to other sectors, like healthcare. And we also see this growing eventually to the creator market with the SaaS offering. And with your help, we can get there sooner. We've done a lot until now. We've been bootstrapped for the last 2 years. But we're looking to accelerate. And this is the team to do it. I trust them with my life. We've been through a lot. We've built all the artworks that I mentioned as well as a product. So if you're interested in this, please reach out for a demo. While many tools are out there to use AI, this one in particular is truly unique in its capabilities to harness it for storytelling. And that is truly what I believe will connect us. So schedule a demo today if you're interested. Thank you so much for your time.
Hello, everyone. We're a US-based company. I'm not, so if you hear some kind of Austrian accent, that's why. Very briefly about OnStage. We started with the very humble mission to revolutionize the video and stage production for the arts, currently for classical and then move beyond. And before I explain what we do, I want to take one step back to the 50s. What happened then? You probably all remember, for us, it was completely normal to go into the living room and just see moving images. We could do it in front of the television. In the 50s, it was a revolution because until then you had to go to a cinema in order to really see moving images. Fast forward, today we can see audiovisual content basically everywhere. You can see it on your smartphone, you can see it on your laptop, on your notebook, on your screen. Even platforms that used to start as pure music platforms are now focusing on audiovisual content. Yet at the same time, 95% of live classical arts, like opera, classical music performances, are never captured. Why is that? So basically, there's the big problem that it's a very labor-intense process, it's a very time-consuming process, and also very, very expensive. Basically, you can think of it as a second production next to the production that already happens on stage. You need to prepare art direction. You have to run the production very often with 10 cameras involved, so you need multiple people to work with the cameras after you've prepared the art direction. Once you've recorded everything, you have to go into post-production. And obviously, that's a process that not all institutions, especially the smaller ones, can afford. And we've developed a technology, OnStage AI, where basically our technology is able to listen what happens on stage and understands what happens on stage. And therefore, basically, after a general art direction is submitted, our technology can run the entire production, can navigate all the cameras, and by the time the performance is over, also the video is already done, and you have already the finished cut video. So what used to be a very labor-intense process, we're able to scale it down to our software. We're offering our software as a service subscription. And we've started already working with the first clients. That's now a brief video. We captured their performance. It was during the Tone Festival, one of the first partners that we had this year. Where basically just that one of our colleagues went there and we linked our technology to the console hall, and our technology was basically able to run the entire production without further efforts. What is it? What institutions, what arts institutions in the next world educational institutions can do with it? First of all, like our goal is basically to make the process for the institutions as easy as possible, that there can be a shift in budgets towards the artistic production. And the videos that are created can be used for multiple purposes. So we have clients where their interest is basically to offer it behind a paywall, to use it also for the orchestras, for the artists themselves, for example, to rehearse, to also just be able to see what they were rehearsing. It can be used for live streaming, for brand building. And where do we currently stand? As I mentioned, we rolled out with the first clients earlier this year. I'm alone here today because my colleagues are currently in Chicago and are recording right now with the Chicago Symphony. We start to collaborate as of next year with the Malmö Opera and the University of Lund, where basically we want to understand better the stage production for opera and ballet and optimize it. And one thing that we learned during the last months was basically that actually our technology can not only automate the video production, but it can also automate basically multiple elements that happen on stage. So for example, the curtains, the lighting, so it can really become some kind of product assistant for the stage productions. So our goal basically is, and I'm now making a little reference to this year's theme, to play the stage. Thanks.
Dr. George Land at NASA tested 1,600 children for their divergent thinking, creativity. At age 5, 98% scored at the genius level. And when the adults took the same tests, the number dropped to 2%. Pablo Picasso said every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. We all have creativity, but the problem is we learn to suppress it as we become adults. Hey everyone, I'm Daniel, and I believe that technology can dismantle those barriers and liberate the artists within us. And RealSnap just does that for the fashion industry, where our imaginations are most suppressed. Because in fashion, an idea has to go through this long and expensive workflow to come to life. This process itself kills the idea and often becomes a barrier of cost and complexity. But what if technology can remove this barrier? With RealSnap, what used to cost $30,000 in 6 weeks can now be done in a few hours for just $300. That enables a merchandiser with an idea to visualize a lookbook in minutes, a marketing manager to test a campaign without hiring an expensive studio. Now, every idea has a path to becoming real. Now, let me show you how that works in detail. Now, for the fashion designer uploads a spec sheet, a technical drawing of their clothes, and generates a product image. From there, you can fine-tune all the details. You can change the color, you can change the fabric, the buttons, and even the pockets. Next, you can generate a lookbook. Just select your model, pose, background, and mood, and RealSnap will do the job for you. Not only that, you can take those images and then produce cinematic videos ready for your social campaign. And we've prepared a short demo clip, I hope it works, to show you how to walk you through the process. So this is the technical drawing of the actual one that we uploaded. You can change the fabric of the cloth that you generate. So you have those images, you can change the colors from here, you can fine tune the details. And you can move on to the lookbooks. You choose the background or the mood. You choose the pose, your model. It's you can use the presets that we have, or you can generate your own as well. You can add also other effects as well, so to create everything that you need. Here, and also you can change the color of the hair of the model. Then you can move on to the media, where on our platform, you can directly edit and produce videos with the images that you've created. Then you have a video that you can use on social campaigns with the clothes that started from a single piece of sheet, single piece of sheet. Now, RealSnap's position is really clear. It's simple enough for everyone to use, but it's powerful enough to replace a lot of the studio works. And we believe that RealSnap will be able to liberate thousands, not millions, of fashion designers in the world. And I believe the technology's purpose is not to replace art or to create art for us, but to help us discover the artists that we already are. Thank you. Kiitos.
Okay, let's dive in. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Craig. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Peggy, peggy.com, or at Peggy on Instagram, and I'm excited to be chatting with you today. I'm going to start with a quick Instagram post by a famous painter, Peter Doig. So imagine you're the painter, you created this painting, it's your masterpiece, and you've released it into the world. A few years later, you, Peter, say, "Does anyone know where my painting is?" Artists lose track of their paintings when they're sold and resold on the secondary market. There's no obligation for the sellers to inform the artist who the work has been acquired by. This can make it very difficult when a living artist wishes to mount an exhibition of his or her own work. Imagine a singer not being able to sing some of their best songs. Raises all sorts of questions about IP. And so this is what we solve. Peggy is a provenance tracking system. We operate in the $2.1 trillion asset class of art, of visual art. And I won't get into the details of this market sizing here, but the key insight that we think is really interesting is that there's a lack of secondary sales in middle market and emerging artists. That's the missing black notch at the bottom of this rectangle. And we solve that problem at Peggy. The way we do it is we've made an AI, which is patented, built in-house. The artists authenticate each artwork with their AI. That enables a primary sale to happen, the first sale. Collector then validates the artwork using the same AI, and then the artwork remains listed on the system. We release the funds out of escrow, and the artwork can then happen with a secondary sale in the same system. Whenever that happens, the artist earns a royalty, and a new collector gets to enjoy the artwork, and they validate it with the AI. This loop can happen over and over, supporting artists all the way through. This is the way that authentication works in an analog way. We have the gentleman at the top validating the artwork, perhaps at Sotheby's, Christie's, Phillips, etc., using a magnifying glass in his brain, and then it's traded with paper and telephones. On Peggy, we've built an AI where every artist can authenticate that in their pocket using their smartphone. And now I'd invite you to watch a video which we really enjoyed making, and I hope you enjoy watching it. Great, and thank you for watching that.